Ashes nonprofit is paying for my travel and my lodging. In June of 2012, I watched the FDA hearings on metal hips. In the previous 6 years to that, I had endured 5 hip surgeries due to issues related to metals in the devices. Like today, there were substantial areas of confusion and misinformation. It took the FDA until 2014 to issue monitoring guidance, until 2016 to demand PMA on all metal hips, and 7 years to cycle back to the same conversation with no more clarity than there was in 2012. The delay in substantial scientific pursuit of answers surrounding these issues is downright inexcusable. My own journey began in 2006, months later in 2007 with bilateral metal-on-metal hip resurfacings. The claims made were outrageous, but I didn't know. I do now. By the fall of 2008, I stepped off a stair and froze in pain at my left hip. The doctor blew me off until spring of 2009, when he noticed that the socket had slipped out of its location. I underwent a revision that required bone grafting, a serious diagnosis of metallosis, switched from metal on metal to ceramic on poly, and the pain never left. In 2011, I saw 2 surgeons with 180-degree diagnosis differelences. One said it was fine, one said not. I lived with it for a month until that socket fell out of position again. Failure to osteointegrate in 2 cases. Following an osteotomy. If you've ever tried to walk on a fractured femur, you know what torture that is. My hip was revised yet again, this time to cobalt chromium stem, cobalt chromium ball on a polyethylene lining. Given that I had a diagnosis of metallosis, I don't understand that. I lived with pain. 2012, my right hip presented with problems. It was revised to titanium stem, cobalt chromium ball, and polyethylene liner. My highest known ion levels was 10.1 over those years, and it was shortly before my last surgery in 2017 where we replaced the cobalt chromium ball on the titanium stem with ceramic. The panel keeps saying, the FDA keeps saying that this is a small subset of people. We've heard statistics. 7 million Americans living with hip and knee replacements, 300,000 hips, 600,000 knees every year. 70 million Americans implanted with some type of medical device. For the panel to remain focused on hypersensitivity rather than facing the truth of toxicity is equivalent to counting squirrels in T-Rex territory. The issues and challenges acknowledged by the FDA represent serious harm. My toxicologist, who's an expert in cobalt exposure, was clear in stating that once in the body, the source doesn't matter. In fact, he told me lead poisoning would be better than what I have with cobalt. For a patient who has no sensitivity or allergy, there is no safe minimum. For someone who has toxic, there is no safe level. Poison is poison. Over 13 years of exposure, most of the time my metals level ions raise between 2.6 to 6.4. And here I stand today, having been diagnosed with stage 2 diastolic heart failure, diabetes 2, and a plethora of neurologic and cognitive symptoms that have destroyed my life. I have no doubt these conditions will not only continue to diminish the quality of my life, but may actually call an early end to it. At 65, I'm not elderly, but I feel it. You cannot make this right for me, but the FDA, by way of regulation and industry, have a moral, congressional, and scientific obligation to find the answers and make this right. Stop trying to change patients. Stop trying to throw a pill at an immune response. Change the materials. The bottom line between all the harm is the materials. Go after that. Set rigid standards for biocompatibility testing and don't use false science.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Wright. Next speaker, you have